So today I am unboxing a recent order of dahlias. Make sure you stick around to the end. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now to give the dahlias a head start before they get planted outside. Dahlias are probably my favorite flower to grow here in the garden. Dahlias have been part of our garden for more than 10 years now. So if you're new to dahlias, I have done a couple of videos about how to dig them up and prepare them and store them for the winter. I'll link those videos down in the description, along with a video where I did a bit of a mini tour of the dahlias that I had blooming last summer. What I have here is one of, I think, several possible orders that I've done for this year. All right, so time to unbox. All right, here we go. What did I get? How many did I order? I don't... There's more in here than I thought there would be. I don't know how... I don't know if there's a packing slip to see what I actually got. No, there isn't. Okay, well, we'll see what this looks like. All right, so... Good, I like when they come with labels too. All right, so I don't need that. All right. Oh, and in terms of when dahlias typically get shipped, when you order them online, whoever you're ordering from takes care of when they should be shipped. Because I ordered these in the fall, they will get shipped to me based on my growing zone and the timing of when it makes sense for me to have them so they can get planted outside. All right, so let me take a look at what I have here. So, so this is Thomas Edison. Oh, that looks really nice. So if you're not familiar with dahlias, these are the tubers. Everything that the dahlia needs to put on growth, new foliage, flowers for the season, all of that energy is stored in the tubers. And this is how they will grow, and this is how they will bulk up. As they grow throughout the summer, they will bulk up and they'll add new tubers will form kind of off of the main part. And you can use this to actually divide out and increase the number of dahlias that you have of a particular kind, because each one of these individual tubers, you could plant those out separately and a new plant will form off of that. Or you can keep growing these larger clusters and those are going to produce kind of bigger and bigger, larger amounts of foliage. So it just depends on how much space you have and what you want to do with those. So this is Thomas Edison. I do remember ordering that. I will try to put up pictures of them somewhere on the screen here if I can find them to show you what they look like, but it comes with a label, which is always good. So that's that one. Thomas Edison, what do we have here? Yeah, this is American Sunset. So far, off the top of my head, I don't remember what these all look like. Oh well. I think sometimes I buy new dahlias and sometimes I will buy dahlias that I already have. So we shall see. All right, so this is another American Sunset, so I got more than one of those. Actually, all right, so it looks like I ordered 3 of the American Sunset. It's always a good idea to open them up and take a look at them and just check on the conditions of the tubers. I want them to be, kind of plump. These are nice. And last but not least, so this is Sam Hopkins. So as I mentioned, dahlias are typically shipped to you when it's time to, or near about when it's time for them to be planted out in your growing zone. These guys are not going out anytime soon. Actually, it has been snowing, so I've got a couple of options. So one, I can keep these stored as they are. I might spritz them with a little bit of water just to keep a little bit of humidity in here, but I could store them just like this in these wood shavings and just wait till it's time the ground is ready to be worked and ready to get these in. Instead of that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pot these up. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna help give them a head start on growing. So I can get them in some pots. I have a kitchen rack set up with some grow lights that we use for seed starting. I'm gonna set them over in that area, and that way, that's gonna give them a bit of a head start. I think it's gonna give them probably about 3 or 4 weeks of a head start of growing before they're gonna get put out into the garden. So they're actually gonna get more of a head start than the dahlias that I already have stored, because I've got too many to pot them all on. Maybe a few I will. There's nothing wrong with leaving them and keeping them stored until it's time for them to go directly into the ground. Last year, I actually was building a new flower bed in the yard, and that flower bed was going to be where the dahlias were going to go, and I actually didn't have the bed ready in time for when I normally would put out the dahlias. So instead of waiting and them having kind of a late start to growing, I potted nearly all of them up, and some of them are in individual pots. I had some trays where I put some in and put soil around them, and they had a couple of extra weeks to start growing indoors before then the garden bed was ready, and I was able to then plant them out. Some of them had a foot or more of growth before they even got into the ground. One thing you can also do as well, if you're starting them indoors like that, you can pinch them off. That will encourage additional growth, like side shoots, to come out from where you pinched it off from, and that can give you, a fuller, more branching structure to your dahlia. All right, so I've just got some pots and some soil somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So I just want to get them down in the soil a bit, and then I just want to cover them up, kind of up into so I want to have them covered, but dahlias don't get planted like super deep. Because you can see, I grab an example here. This is the stem. That grew last year, and this is where it was cut off at the end of the season. So this main tuber is sitting right below the soil level. Now the other tubers that grow off of it, these are certainly going to grow down or grow out. But again, they don't need to be planted deep. I'm not going to plant them kind of any deeper than they already were kind of growing in the ground previously. Oh, don't forget to put your labels in, whatever you do. I have seen it recommended that you don't need to give them any water if you're potting them up like this until they start to show some growth. I wanted to give them just a little bit of water so the soil's damp. The other thing I could have done is I could have dampened the soil a bit before putting them into here, because what I don't want is I don't want there to be pockets of air around the tubers themselves. So between tapping them down and giving them a little bit of water, I'm making sure that the soil is in contact with the tubers. I'm not trying to really saturate them and give them a really good drink right now, because they don't need that yet. There we have it. So unboxed my dahlias and have potted them on to give them a head start on growing before they go out into the garden. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be coming out with some more dahlia unboxing videos, as well as more dahlia care tips and advice all throughout the season. Until next time, happy gardening.